Good morning, everybody, or afternoon. The Deepseek and the AI drama continues. I'm old enough to remember just last Monday when Deepseek, or actually over the weekend, and the market reacted on Monday when Deepseek out of China announced that they had produced an AI that was better than OpenAI, and they were able to do it for 96% less cost to produce pretty much the same thing. And I said in Monday's video that I was skeptical of whether or not that they could actually do it, because China is regularly known for inflating or just outright lying about their numbers, like they do with their GDP numbers and all sorts of other numbers. So it stood to be skeptical, and a lot of people were skeptical since Monday, and it kind of crashed the market. Nvidia was down 21% on Monday. Crypto AI stocks were down even more. So now some interesting things are happening. So I wanted to jump on here and talk about some of the things that are now coming out. So let's back up real quickly. Welcome to the channel. Let's talk about Deepseek. It's a Chinese AI startup, and it's known to be innovative and cost-effective in its AI models. And it launched a chatbot called R1, which has been pretty impressive. But since it's come out, people have tried to use it, and if you ask it, what model are you, it will say, I'm an OpenAI model. So there's a lot of skepticism and investigation into whether or not, one, they just copied OpenAI, and two, they actually are running the model on NVIDIA chips, which they're not supposed to, because those chips are banned from being sold. And we're going to go through some of the evidence here in just a second. And in fact, today, the president of NVIDIA, Jensen Huang, is meeting with Donald Trump at the White House to talk about this and talk about banning the sales of chips to countries like China. And incidentally, this week, the NVIDIA stock has just been on a whipsaw. It was down 21% on Monday, and then it was up almost 7% on Tuesday. Today, it's pretty flat. Because this has big implications on NVIDIA, which is the largest maker of chip technology for AI in the world. And it is causing a lot of concern. Deepseek is causing a lot of concern in the US tech industry, because if it's true that Deepseek was able to create something that is just as good as OpenAI, but for a lot cheaper, what does that mean for not only OpenAI, but the whole tech industry and the crypto industry that is focused on AI? So it's a significant moment and highlights the intersection of AI, international trade, and national security. And the US has imposed export controls to prevent some of NVIDIA's most advanced chips from being sold to China. And these restrictions aim to limit China's advancements in AI technology, because the US and China are now in a race, a technology race that's called the Sputnik moment as of Monday. Mark Andreessen coined that on Monday, that this event sparked a Sputnik moment, that it really marked the beginning of the AI race between China and the US. And we know that whoever wins this race wins it all. As the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin, said that whoever develops AGI, artificial general intelligence, will rule the world, because it will be so powerful. So everybody is trying to get their hands on the AI and the chips that make these AI. But despite the bans, there's speculation and investigation into whether Deepseek accessed these chips through intermediaries in Singapore. So Deepseek was built by a Chinese private equity firm. They're not supposed to have these chips. They publicly said that they had trained the AI, had built the AI on lesser chips, chips called H800s or H20s, and which are older NVIDIA chips. And they're also, so the newer chips are banned. And these older chips are not covered by the export restrictions. So as of today, the U.S. is looking into whether or not they need to tighten down the export controls and investigate whether Deepseek illegally obtained NVIDIA's chips. So the situation could lead to tighter controls or sanctions affecting the global development of AI race. And it also raises questions about the effectiveness of current export controls. If China can just get these through Singapore or somewhere else, what does that mean about how effective those controls are? So what does this mean for the world of tech? Well, the drama is unfolding. If you are an astute investor, you like a stock like NVIDIA, that this story may be overblown. NVIDIA still will retain its dominance. Some see it as troubling if they get their exports restricted, but they still are going to be dominant. So it could be an opportunity for you to add to your position. Let's look at some of the evidence about Deepseek getting its chips from Singapore. The Kobisi letter just reported this today, that sales of NVIDIA sales in Singapore are up sevenfold, 740%, since Deepseek was founded just a couple of years ago. And so you see that it's very possible that the chips are available. So does this mean, number one, that it's, I think that it's overblown, that it's possible that Deepseek got its chips from Singapore, and number two, there's evidence coming out that they took all the information from OpenAI. It's called distillation, where they basically mine the information from OpenAI. So it's a cheap copycat knockoff with processors that they weren't supposed to have in the first place, which would follow the MO of how things operate in China. So is AI over? No, everything was overblown. In fact, according to the Wall Street Journal yesterday, OpenAI is in talks for an investment valuing the company OpenAI to $300 billion. They're seeking $40 billion from the maker of ChatGPT. So investors are not slowing down their development of AI. They're not slowing down their investments in AI. In fact, OpenAI's valuation almost doubled in 4 months. It's making a lot of money, and still is leading the pack. So it looks like for now the AI lead from the US is still intact, and the companies that are leading in the US, like OpenAI and others, are still, their valuation has not been affected. So when you're looking at stocks, tech stocks and AI related stocks in the market, keep this in mind, that it's likely, getting more and more likely every day, that the DeepSeek fear is overblown, especially when you look at OpenAI's valuation. NVIDIA is pretty flat. It's pretty flat today. On the news, I would think that it would be up a little bit, but it's given the week it's had, it is pretty flat. We can look here at the week. It has been a roller coaster, starting with Monday, when it just tanked, and then it recovered on Wednesday, and then up and down. And then lastly, we'll see what happens when Trump and Jensen Huang meet at the White House, and it looks like there are going to be more tariffs and more restrictions coming for AI from AI around the world. So we'll keep an eye on it. And what do you think? Let me know in the chat whether you think that AI stocks are overblown. Is the whole sector of AI overheated, or are we just getting started? Because I think that's a debate worth having, especially if you're an investor and you're interested in tech stocks. Is this going to be the accelerant that governments and private companies around the world will continue to pour more money into this AI arms race? And if you're an investor in tech stocks and AI stocks, then this could be a great thing. Or is everybody going to pull back for fears that the US is going to be more restrictive in their export controls? We will see. Leave your comment below. And if you want to stay up to date on what's happening in the market, then go to morningdownload.com, subscribe to our free personal finance newsletter where we cover stocks and what's happening in the market, and our tech newsletter where we cover specifically AI, tech, and crypto. We'll see you next time.